What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I am Khadija Latrice if you are new. Before we get into today's video, I would like for you to do me a favor and give this video a thumbs up. Also, I would love for you to subscribe because I want you to join. I'm going to be doing a lot of things when it comes to this channel, so I just want you guys to grow with me, honestly. I'm very social. I'm a social butterfly. So other than that, let's get into the video. If you have not watched my previous video, please go back and look at it. It'll give you a little insight into why I'm talking about what I'm talking about today. So I would like to go ahead and give some self-disclosure that I do live with an anxiety disorder. It can be debilitating. So if you or someone you know live with anxiety or any other type of anxiety disorder or phobia or anything of that nature, or any type of mental health disorder, I stand with you, and I really just want to dive into some coping skills that I use personally. This is not going to fit for every other person. This is just for me, and I really want to share it with you just in case you want to try it. If you do live with anxiety, or even if you do not have an anxiety disorder, it's still good to know what type of things that you could use before you resort to prescription drugs, which I have nothing against prescription drugs or prescription medication, but I do feel like we should always use all alternatives before we resort to that. I mean, it's only right. Number one, what I usually use for my anxiety, if it's just, busy working and I'm overwhelmed, or, it's been a long day and I can't sleep, whatever the case may be, and I feel like my heart rate is getting up, but I'm not moving, I'm not doing anything. It's called anxiety soother. Real basic. So here in Greensboro, North Carolina, we have a store that's called House of Health, and it literally has all the organic stuff and all the natural products that you can use, and it's really, really dope. I like it. It's cool. I know a lot of older people go, but hey, I'm in that thing too. So I usually get anxiety soother. Yeah, she's really nice to me, honey. And I mean the anxiety soother itself. So what I do is I would drink chamomile tea, because that helps your nervous system as well. It has a calming component in it, which relaxes your mind, your nerves. And I would put a few of the droplets of the anxiety soother in there, and I just have myself a nice hot cup of tea. Boom, that's fine. Also, with the anxiety soother, you can actually put that in your water or your juice, but it's really, really nasty. I'm not even gonna lie. I've been using it for years and it's nasty. So I would probably just put it in tea or water. That's it. You don't have to use a lot. It's not the one that I get is not really a big bottle. So I can make one last for about 3 or 4 months if I really wanted to. So you don't have to necessarily put the liquid inside of the tea. I just do it because I like that extra effect. So there you have it. All right, number two would have to be my herbal teas. So in the first one, I mentioned about the liquid, putting the liquid in the chamomile tea. The chamomile tea is what I use, but I also use, you can get a relaxation tea, a nighttime tea. You can get, I think I'm saying this wrong, but I think it's rooibos. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I don't know, but all I know is that tea is fire. That tea is a fire. I don't ever put honey or any of the extra stuff into my tea. I drink it with the water, the herbs, that's it. Leave it at that. And I mean, honey in the tea is good, cool, whatever. Do you, to each his own. But I like for my stuff to just be plain. I want to get all of the benefits that I can, which, you know, nothing is wrong with adding stuff to it. I just don't do it. But let's see, any other teas? Oh, peppermint tea, you can do that. It's so many teas out here, you guys. So if you are having a stressful day, or if you are feeling overwhelmed, choose which one you would rather go for. I invest in my mental health, so price really isn't an issue for me. So I usually rack up on my teas at one time, and I usually make them last for a few months as well, because I don't like to run through my things so quickly if I can help it. So tea before bed, tea before work, tea after work, tea during work, whatever you need to do, boo. Get right. Get this up here right, because that's the star of the show. To take care of your mental, that's a given. Okay, number three would have to be mindfulness, like a mindfulness technique. So number 3 would be a mindfulness technique. For me, I like to do breathing exercises because that usually calms my heart rate down if I'm having heart palpitations, or if I'm just getting worked up, or I feel overwhelmed, or if I start feeling a little lightheaded because I'm so overwhelmed or because I'm so anxious. I had an episode where I was so anxious taking a counselor examination that I got a migraine during the test, and the test was like 4 hours long. So imagine having to, you know, calm yourself down, but you really don't have the resources to do anything because you're taking a test. All you do have is your breath. What I did was just sit there, inhale, exhale. I did it very, very slowly. Sometimes people think that if you're doing a mindfulness exercise or deep breathing, that it's not going to work. You have to know how to breathe. Let me say that again. You have to know how to breathe. When you inhale and you exhale, come on, let's do it real quick. I'll show you. So put one hand on your chest and the other hand on your belly. So when you inhale, you should feel your stomach rise as you inhale. It has to. That's when you know you're inhaling all the air that you can, and then you just let it out. Like, just let it out. Taking about 5 minutes to do that for yourself, or maybe not even that long, depending on where you are. Tense up all of your muscles at one time. So like, squeeze your fists, squeeze your toes, and squeeze every, like, just freeze every part of your body, like hold it and then release it. Let it go. Number 4. My hands ashy, God. Anyway, number 4, a workbook. This is for anybody who actually like to write, you know, do things. A workbook. For me, I have a cognitive behavioral workbook, and that's the therapeutic orientation that I like anyway, as a mental health professional. I choose to work in my workbook so that I can, 1, be distracted. I know that's terrible, you're not supposed to run. But what I'm saying is, when you distract yourself and you psych yourself out of your anxiety, it's just like, you don't even hear it anymore. You're not even listening to her. And I definitely call my anxiety a she. She's a bitch. So I work in my workbook. I distract myself. I don't listen to her anymore. I'm so caught up into my work. I'm so caught up into trying to reconstruct my mindset that I'm not even hearing the anxiety anymore. And that comes along with practice. So it's not going to happen on the first time that you do a workbook or a worksheet or whatever. If you do go to therapy, sometimes your therapist may recommend that you work on some worksheets. Most of the time that really stems from CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. And I really like that because it gets me involved in my own healing. The workbook is just something that would definitely get you out of your element, get you out of your head, and put everything on the paper in the book. So that's really, really important. Like making sure that while you're working in the workbook, everything is coming out on paper. So it's just like journaling. So putting everything outside of your mind and putting it on paper. Then you get to evaluate what you put on the paper. Is it rational? Is it irrational? And number five for me would have to be exercise, like straight up exercise. When I tell you, before graduate school, I did not like to work out, move, and do any of that stuff. But as I went into grad school, it became heavier than I thought in the beginning. So I started stress eating bad, like a lot, especially when tests are coming up, and I was so overwhelmed with everything that was being thrown at me in grad school that I just wanted to eat. That was like the one thing that brought me pleasure in the moment, because it was like, wow, I can have some good food right now and that's going to satisfy my taste bud. It was just a tough time for me because I couldn't work well under pressure, especially when I didn't know what was coming, because my anxiety wanted to control everything around me, you know, just speaking to me negatively. So that's why I call my anxiety a bitch. She's a bitch. So, but I've learned to manage my anxiety so much better now. I've learned more about myself in these past 3 years, and my anxiety is probably never going to go away 100%, but I will make it my mission to deal with it. Like I tell people, we are not responsible for our mental health disorder. We are responsible for how we respond to it, how we cope with it. That's it. So, guys, I want you to do me a favor and again give this video a thumbs up. This is just something quick that I wanted to share with you all. Please let me know if you would like for me to do another video giving you more coping skills or just tools or diving deeper into tools. I can definitely do that for you. Any questions that you have, just let me know. Leave it in the comment section and I will respond to you as quickly as I can. But other than that, I hope you guys are out there being safe, and I hope that you are wearing your mask and keeping your distance. Till we see each other again. Bye.